When you hear the word Blitzkrieg, you probably imagine German tank wedges breaking through enemy lines. But right behind those fast-moving Wehrmacht tanks, rolling down broken dirt roads, were the real workhorses of that war. Ordinary trucks with a matching name, the Opel Blitz or Lightning. That very lightning bolt on the hood would become part of Opel's official company logo in 1964. What made this model the most mass-produced German truck of World War II? How did the post-war economic boom force this grim military machine to completely change its image? And what fatal flaw forced the company to pull the plug after 45 years on the assembly line? Was it a mistake? Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and let's dive into the history of a true German classic. The story begins in March 1929. The American giant General Motors bought an 80% stake in the German company Opel. At the time, Opel held a quarter of the German passenger car market, but their truck lineup was limited to light, one-ton delivery vans. Before the new owners could even settle in, the Great Depression hit in October 1929, striking Germany hard. To save the situation, the Americans started deep structural reforms. By 1931, GM owned 100% of Opel. But Detroit management wisely left the Opel brothers in charge and kept the historic brand name. Thanks to generous American investments, modern assembly lines roared to life at the Rüsselsheim plant. They began introducing simple, reliable, and easy-to-build vehicles inspired by the American engineering school. Specifically, the success of Chevrolet trucks. By mid-1930, the new commercial vehicles were ready. They just needed a name. The advertising department held a public contest with one rule. The name could not exceed 5 letters. The winner was Blitz, meaning lightning. 2 base models went into production, a 1.5-ton and a 2-ton version. The heavier model got an American 3.6-liter Marquette engine with 61 horsepower, while the lighter one used Opel's own 2.6-liter motor. The design was typical for the era: high hoods, sweeping fenders, and a simple rectangular cab. With the National Socialists coming to power, Germany began massive Autobahn construction and military rearmament. Truck demand skyrocketed. To meet it, Opel built a massive new plant in Brandenburg in 1935, taking a record 190 days. Its 5 kilometers of assembly lines could churn out 25,000 trucks a year. In 1937, the Opel Blitz received a major update, featuring an all-metal cab with a rounded roof. The real game-changer was the 3-ton model, powered by a 75-horsepower engine taken from the premium Opel Admiral passenger car. This became Germany's most produced truck. The Blitz chassis was used for everything, from standard vans and fire engines to futuristic aerodynamic buses by the Ludwig coach builder, nicknamed the Street Zeppelins. When World War II began, the Brandenburg plant shifted entirely to military production. Like many German factories of that era, this massive output was eventually sustained by the dark reality of forced labor. The main products were the 3-ton Opel Blitz 3.6S and the all-wheel drive Blitz A. Those powerful car engines let them hit 90 kilometers per hour on the highway. This was critical for the strategy of a fast war. The trucks could keep up with advancing tank units, carrying infantry, fuel, and ammo. However, on the Eastern Front, the Blitzkrieg bogged down in the mud. Even the all-wheel drive Opels surrendered to the autumn Rasputitsa. So, in 1942, they started building the half-track Maultier, or Mule, using suspension parts from the British Carden Loyd tankette. These crawlers were slow and drank up to 50 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. Only about 2,100 were made, along with 300 Panzerwerfer multiple rocket launchers. In August 1944, Allied bombers destroyed the Brandenburg plant. Production was moved to Daimler-Benz, where the truck was built under the name L701, with a simplified plywood cab until 1949. In total, over 70,000 3-ton Blitzes were built during the war. After the war, Opel returned to General Motors control, but lost the Brandenburg plant to the Soviet occupation zone. Using rebuilt facilities in Rüsselsheim, a completely new Blitz was unveiled in 1952. This was a machine for peacetime. The grim soldier got an elegant 1950s aero styling, a cab with a bulging hood and massive fenders, heavily inspired by the American Chevrolet Advanced design. Under the hood sat a 58 horsepower, 2.5-liter engine. Germany was rebuilding, and it needed commercial trucks, not tanks. The former military off-roader became a neat urban helper. It was used for mail vans, ambulances, garbage trucks, and dump trucks. The Blitz became a true symbol of the German economic miracle. As the 1960s rolled in, the market demanded higher payload capacity in a smaller footprint. Opel had to completely rethink the vehicle's architecture. They abandoned the classic hood, shifting to a modern cab-over design. Payload increased to 2 tons, but dark clouds were gathering over the Lightning. While the Blitz dominated the 50s, 60s competitors started pushing it out with highly efficient diesel engines. Opel stubbornly clung to gasoline. By the time the Blitz finally got a diesel engine in 1968, a French Indonor unit, it was too late. The market was already captured by the rugged Mercedes-Benz T2 and the modern Ford Transit. In 1975, following a new GM strategy, the last Opel Blitz rolled off the Rüsselsheim assembly line. Over 45 years, more than 440,000 of these trucks had been built. Did the company make a mistake by killing off a legend? Objectively, no. It wasn't a sudden blunder. It was a pragmatic admission of defeat in a technological race. Instead of burning millions trying to win back the commercial truck market, GM decided to focus Opel entirely on highly profitable passenger cars. Today, original Opel Blitz trucks are the heroes of historical footage and the pride of retro collections. They remain unique witnesses to transformation, from an instrument of destruction to the primary helper in rebuilding an entire nation. What do you think about this model? Could it have kept fighting Mercedes if it got a diesel engine earlier? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.